G'day, folks. I wanted to teach you another strategy. This is a simple one, and it's one that you can mix with both my support and resistance type of trading. You can mix this with the EMA6 trades as well. You could possibly even apply this to the Euro USD strategy. This is a very simple one. For those that trade with Nadex or IG markets, you're going to love this one as well. In short, what this is about is being able to pick reversals when they happen. Now, some of you have been asking me whether or not if there is a sign that you see clearly in regards to when the market reverses. This possibly is going to be a good one. It's a 2 bar reversal pattern that tends to happen almost all of the time. I'm going to show it to you in just a second. I've just taken 2 trades off this earlier and won both of them. I'm going to show you where I've done it, but I've just turned my charts on again, and I've realized the perfect setup just formed, and I'm going to show you exactly what it is that you're looking for. Okay, so grab your notebooks, a pen or a pencil, and write this down. Now, having said that, I'm going to repeat just one part of that again, is where when you're doing your EMA6 trades on your 1 minute chart or even 5 minute chart, you can use this as well. So you're going to look for this specific type of pattern. And the other thing is when you're doing your support and resistance type of trades, you can do this exact same thing. So utilize this with support and resistance areas and zones, and that will help you. And I'm going to show you earlier what I've done with the 2 trades that I won on. And lastly, again, with those that are trading Nadex and IG markets, what you could do is actually, once you see this specific type of pattern, you can look for contracts that possibly would expire maybe an hour long, or 30-minute long contracts. And if you're well and truly in the money, you can decide whether you want to get out of those contracts early and make a profit on the difference, or you can stay for the duration of that contract and take the full amount. Okay, now here's what it is. We're looking for 2 things. It's 2 bars, which would give you an idea of a reversal forming. For the first one, and some of you might be familiar with this, is a high reversal bar, or it's an inside bar. Okay, now this one here, see, this is a long white or a green candle in your case, and then this sort of bar forms. Now the wick of this is up and above the body and the wick of this one. It's a red candle, so you need to have either green, white, well, you guys probably have a green one. So green candle and then a red candle. If the wick of it or the body of it is outside or bigger than this one, then it's a high reversal bar. And if this was, say, consumed, the whole wick and body of this was consumed by this, then that would be considered an inside bar. So see this one here? The wick and the body of this is both consumed by the body and wick and shadow of this one here. So this one would be considered an inside bar. Now, you're not going to be trading every time you see an inside bar or a high reversal bar. I'm going to show you exactly where to trade and the sort of the setup that you're looking for. Now, many of you might be familiar with the fact that markets, when they're trending, they don't go straight up and they don't come straight down. Sometimes they can if there is high volatility in the market, there's possibly a news release, or there's billions of dollars going in that direction, and then so the market spikes. But gradually what you find is the market over a period of time will climb, fall back slightly, climb up again, and fall back slightly and climb up again. Now, having said that, you could call that the market moves in waves. That's exactly what we're looking for here. Now, a lot of you have asked me, how do you trade with the trend, or how do you trade a reversal on the trend? This is how. Here's what you're looking for. Okay, so as the market is trending, what you're looking for is the way in which candles start to behave when the market starts to slow down, possibly even go sideways. Okay, what I'm looking for here and what I did earlier, so say for instance, you forget this bit here. What I did earlier was I saw the USD JPY pair on a 15-minute chart climb. Market was here, and then this candle started to turn red on me. Okay, this candle was completely red until possibly the last 5 seconds of that trade. Sorry, of that candle. It's completely red. I didn't even notice that this had jumped up and become white. It wasn't until this candle had started that I noticed. But what I did here initially, now what you're looking for, what you're going to wait for is you want this candle to complete finish doing what it's doing and then jump onto this one. So in this case, I would not have done anything with this until this had completely finished and then this candle would have started. Okay, because this is what's going to show you that the market is about to reverse. So you're looking for, again, a high reversal bar or an inside bar. Google that if you have to, and click on images. You'll see plenty of them. But in short, this is what a high reversal bar is. And this would possibly be an inside bar, or this one here. This one here. See how the wick and shadow of this is consumed by the wick and body of this candle here. So this would be considered an inside bar. Now what we're looking for here is where the market pulls up. So in this case, what I did was I looked at this point here and I thought, okay, this is possibly a pivot. And in this sort of a trade, we're looking for pivots. Okay, so by pivot, I mean where the market climbs up and then it comes back down again for a few candles. The top part here would be considered the pivot. So what I did here was I looked at that and then I grabbed my horizontal line. I dropped it there and I wanted to look to see what the candles have done next to it. Now this one broke right through, but this, the body of it nor the shadow of the wick came back down below here. So for me, this is an indication the market's going to most likely continue upwards. So I deleted. I got rid of that line. Go on. Okay, my MT4 is really playing up today. Actually, it's been for a while. Anyway, so I got rid of that line and I looked for the next point that was higher than this. I looked around here, I zoomed out, and I want to see where the next point was. So this seemed like the highest point I could find. So what I did, I grabbed my horizontal line and dropped a line right at the tip of this. Okay, that's the highest point I could find. So I thought, let me see if I can, sorry, not here, if I can use this as a pivot point. So it was right at the tip of the wick of this candle. Okay, so what I waited for was this candle to finish doing what it's doing, and then this candle to finish what it's doing. Now I jumped again slightly on this, and I don't recommend you guys do the same thing, is where I waited for that candle to finish off in the red. Unfortunately, this was in the red for most of the time. When I went to my broker side, executed my trade, came back, this candle had opened by then, but then I noticed this candle had jumped up. So I actually got in late. I got in possibly around this line. Price action for the duration of, say, the first 10 minutes or so when up here. Mind you, I had taken a 15-minute put, so traded just the duration of this candle. And then what I found was that possibly in the last 5 minutes of that trade, candle price came back down, finished off here. I won that trade. Now, I would not have done that trade because this finished off in the white for me. In order to execute this trade, what I would want is for this to finish off down here somewhere or even lower in the red. Once that's done, then I can look at executing the next trade down. Now, what I would do here for you guys is this. This trade finished. When this candle started, it was here somewhere that I took a... actually, no, it was here somewhere that I took a 30-minute put. a 45-minute put, sorry, and I just finished off in the money when this white one finished. Now, um, I did the wrong thing with both trades there simply because this one was out of whack. But here's how you would have traded it, okay? Let me get rid of this line so it doesn't confuse anyone. So what I'm looking for is a nice strong trend up, and I'm looking for signs where the market's going to possibly revert and come back down again. Here I would consider to be a pivot. I'd look for this as a pivot. So I'm looking for multiple pivots where possibly where I can draw in support and resistance lines, areas where market has been bouncing back and reversing quite a lot. But at the same time, I'm also looking at waves, the waves in which market flows, and it's where I'm utilizing the pivots plus these inside bar and high reversal bars to possibly take short reversals, maximum if I'm using on a 15-minute chart, maximum for about 30 minutes or so. Okay. Um, if you're doing anything more than that, you're possibly going to consider a losing trade. You're going to have to also experiment with your expiry times. Mind you, you can get this on 5-minute charts, you can get it on 15-minute charts. If you're trading Nadex, you can do 15-minute charts, or you can even do 1-hour charts. I personally do like the 1-hour trades on this one. Simply because it just, once you see this pattern, it's going to give you a very nice comfortable flow down or up. And that's exactly what you want, like a very nice comfortable trade. So I'm going to consider this pivot, guys, simply because after this one there really is no other decent support and resistance line for a while. I possibly would be looking at something up here, okay, and I'm almost guaranteed that after this one here there's going to be a pivot that's going to cause a reversal to happen. So let's go back in there. Now this is what you're looking for. You're looking for, when the market's trending up, you're looking for like a high point like this. I would draw in, and say for instance none of this exists for the time being, I would draw a line in going across right at the tip of that wick, and then what I'd wait for is the market to do its thing. When I notice that this one comes up, hits this, it's okay for this to go above and over it. Sometimes what you're going to find is that market hits this line, price action goes up here somewhere, but then the market will pull the body of it back down again, and it will sit firm against your line. Now what I would then do is wait for this candle to complete. Okay, so once this candle completes, it completes in the red. Now notice how the wick of this is up and above this point here, and the body of this is still contained within body, and the shadow is contained within here. This I would consider to be a high reversal bar. Now if I'm looking up here and there's no other key resistance lines for me very close to price where it presently is, then what I would do is on the inception of this, once price say pulls back slightly up here, I'd take a put for possibly 30 minutes. Okay, if I'm on a 15-minute chart, either a 15-minute or a 30-minute put on this, and see how 30 minutes completed here. This is going on to 45 minutes, and we're still in the money if we would have traded this one here. So again, you're looking for a pivot like this, market's trending up, pivots like this, you draw your horizontal line in or your support line in, and then you wait for this sort of a pattern right here. So if you're looking to do a put reversal, you're looking for a green bar followed by a red bar that either is slightly above this in terms of a wick, and a red body, and then you want it to either challenge this line or come very, very close to it. Okay, I would suggest to you guys to opt for something like this where it's gone over and challenged the line, but then this one has reversed back below it. And then what you do is you take a trade on the inception of this candle at you could even wait for the pullback. So inception of this, and I would do a 30-minute expiry on that. Okay, it's extremely simple. You can apply this to your support and resistance trades as well. So if you're presently just doing your 15-minute support and resistance, that's fantastic. Once you draw in um, your support and resistance lines, look for candlesticks to behave this way. If you're doing longer term trades, you can apply exactly the same thing. Jump onto a higher time chart. Uh, what is this? I don't see this one here. This is a high reversal bar pattern, or high reversal 2 bar pattern. I don't see a pivot here. I'd be careful with this slightly. Although this is um, a downtrend, you could pay attention to this. For those of you that can trade longer time frames, I would probably do maybe like a 2-3 hour trade on this if I was confident. See, even with this is middle horizontal, middle Bollinger Band. So you could take the bounce off of that. I'd be slightly wary because I don't have a pivot point to measure up against, uh, but you could. Um, Something along those lines. Here again, there's no pivot for me, so I wouldn't do that one. What else is there? I like doing this on an hourly chart. No pivots here. Uh, you do want this to be on a nice trending market. See here, notice how this one, again, this is a high reversal 2 bar pattern. You're looking for this sort of setup. You can even consider this to be a high reversal 2 bar pattern. But in relation to any trade you take, whether it be EMA6, whether it be support resistance, whether it be this sort of a reversal trade, make sure you're looking for this sort of a pattern happening where it's either an inside bar, this one is red, the second one is red, the first one is green, inside bar, or this one is just slightly higher up. Study this, guys. This is a simple pattern and it's going to give you a clear indication market is about to reverse. In this situation where I did the USD JPY trade, go back onto a 15-minute chart. This did give me an indication initially. This bounced back up, which confused me somewhat. But when you see this happening, you're almost certain price is going to fall for a little while. Okay, so even when this stuff happens, you're somewhere here, you could take a comfortable 30-minute trade and still win that. See this one, this would have been from here. Even if you were doing a 45-minute trade, you would be very comfortably winning that right now. So I won a 45-minute trade on this one, and I also won a 15-minute one earlier. You can do this easily, again, pretty much on any time frame. For those of you that trade Forex, this is beautiful. Utilize this on a 4-hour chart. You can even do an hourly chart, but with Forex, I prefer 4-hour charts. Do that on a 4-hour chart, and you can pick up some. It also depends, though. If you guys just want a day trade, then certainly do hourly charts. But for those of you that are comfortable doing longer term trades, then jump onto a 4-hourly chart, and you'll be able to pick up some really nice pips with this. So all of you experiment with Nadex, utilize your hourly charts, 30-minute charts, 15-minute charts. Get practicing on being able to find and discover those patterns. Just make sure the market is trending somewhat. Make sure if you can find pivots like this on key support and resistance areas, then you're almost certain the market's going to behave this way. For those of you that know how to work Fibonacci, you can even apply your Fibonacci lines and see where the bounce is going to happen. I don't want to get into too much complex stuff right now for the time being. I'd rather for you guys just to be able to utilize the 2-bar pattern, the reversal. Look for these. You can do it on 1-minute charts as well. Draw in your support resistance lines, and then also consider whether or not it's a trend. Utilize this for Nadex, utilize this for your 15-minute on the candle trades, and also multiple candle trades. Here's another one, guys. I'm gonna quickly show you this one. This is on a 1 minute chart. Notice how I could consider this as to be a pivot line. Now, what I would be looking for is this to happen and then this to happen. Um, Price has to, in my opinion, break this. You could do it with that touching the line. In my opinion, it's not really going to do it for you. You want this to complete, and then you want this candle to complete as well. Once this completes, then you've got an indication this is coming south. Especially if overall you see a downtrend, you can certainly then take a trade. I don't know if you want to consider it a 60-second one or a longer term one. Here, let me get rid of this line. I'll just draw one in over the top of it. I could consider this a pivot, so I'll draw a line in at the top of this. Now I'd wait for this to complete. Price came down, jumped back up. I want this to complete. See, when this completes and completes this way, you avoid the trade here. Don't take it. What else is there? Trying to look for more examples so I can show you guys the sorts of setups you want. Again, please don't take risky setups. This is not what this is about. It's simply you being able to spot where you could take entries. Trying to see if this can be a pivot. I can draw a line in here to see. This is on a 5-minute chart. Nope, this is not an effective pivot. Well, you could use this one for this pivot. I wouldn't, because this price has reached up there. And this is market's going sideways. It's not really a trend up. What you're trying to do with this is try and use this as a reversal pattern. Okay, here, again, this possibly is not where I'd be considering doing a reversal on this. Market really isn't trending so much. I'd avoid that. Again, I think these ones are better on a higher time frame. See if there's a 30-minute one. No, nothing I like. Let's jump onto a 1-hour chart. See, here you could consider this and say, okay, I'm going to draw in a pivot line here. Let this one break through. This one's ended up in the white or the green for you guys, so that's a no trade. Let's go the Euro JPY. Actually, let's go AUD USD. Okay, see AUD USD. Here I could have said initially, say for instance, none of this happened. We're on a 5-minute chart. I would have drawn a line in here. Okay, this went above. Actually, notice how this was the following resistance line that you could have drawn one in. This went all the way up here, so I would probably not consider this one as a pivot. Zoom out a little bit as well. Okay, now here's somewhere that you could possibly have taken a trade, and that might have also ended up in the loss. Now this is AUD USD. London market opened 45 minutes ago. Okay, here what you would do is possibly look at avoiding a trade in the opening hours of the London session. Okay, here you'd possibly get this to be a trade. I'm looking for reasons why I wouldn't have executed the trade. One, it's the open of London. That's one thing that I'm looking at, and so with the open of the London session, that would naturally just push the AUD USD up. This would have been at the 30-minute mark or 25-minute mark, so I possibly wouldn't have traded that for that reason. Looking to see why else I would have avoided that trade. Keep in mind, whenever you're doing these sorts of trades, you're trying to tell yourself reasons why you're going to be taking these trades, but you're also trying to come up with reasons why you shouldn't take those trades. I'm going to give you a good reason as to why this possibly, again, I think it's the open of the London session wouldn't be a great idea. Markets will tend to start trending. Market, keep in mind again, the first hour or so, market will try and search for a session high, session low, consolidate for a bit, and then start trending beyond that point. So yeah, it's not one that I like for some reason. Although, like, if I ignored all of this, that would meet criteria. Oh, actually, I get why I wouldn't have done this one. Let's go back to USD JPY and I'll explain why. Remember earlier when I said when you're looking for pivot points, I used this one and then I did the trades off this one. Although I won those trades, the reason why they were risky was I was being too cocky. This is a 15-minute chart. This pivot would be considered too far away from this trend. This was a trend down. So when you're looking for pivots, you're looking for something that's very close to where you're looking at trading. So see how here, this is quite close to this whole entire area, or to this two-bar reversal pattern. So this would be a comfortable one for you. Whereas here, this is way too far off. Even on a 5-minute chart, this is way too far off. I could consider this one, but again, I would consider that to be far off as well. I'd like for it to be something here. The other thing that you want to note is that if you even see this one, although this too seemingly behaves in a way that you would consider this to be a reversal, this is still high up there. Avoid that. Zoom out again. Okay, avoid that. The other thing is there's open of London session. I can't really see a decent support and resistance anywhere else that I can draw a line in. Maybe I could do one here. Okay, so price on this one, so let's zoom back in again. Price on this one is close to this resistance line. I don't know how candles are going to behave up here, but notice how these two candles are pulling slightly away from the Bollinger Band, so chances are this may form into a reversal pattern somewhere around here. I have no effective pivot, so I'm going to watch this. Jump onto a 15-minute chart. See where I drew that line in on the 5-minute? That's where it is on the 15-minute. See how this on the 15-minute chart, you can see it. Let me zoom in. You can see it come close to that line and then bounce back again. I've done a rough line, so I want to show you guys where I've done it. I've just dropped that in the middle of this. I didn't look too clearly at where I was dropping it in. It was, you could consider it to be the base of this, that. And keep in mind, after you have drawn in your rough candles, your rough lines, you can always move that around to suit wherever it is that you believe is your effective resistance or support line, and then your buffer as well. So you could pay attention to all of that. Right now, there's nothing to me that's telling me that there's going to be a key reversal. So you keep jumping onto other time frames, or you go onto another currency pair. Okay, look at this. This is way too far. This is on a 15-minute chart, but I'm going to draw in this point here. Okay. I wouldn't trade it, but I'd look at it certainly, where if this comes and say hits some this point somewhere, I would consider this to be a pivot, but it's not one that I want to trade on. Okay, you can even consider that to be a support or resistance line. Look at all of these candles here, just the way they've behaved. Move this around slightly to see where you'd be comfortable with it. Establish your buffer zones. Also, it's too early possibly for you to trade on them comfortably. Check to see news as well. Again, this is 50 minutes into the London session right now. But this is what you're looking for. I'd like one of these candles to be up here somewhere, the wick or the body. and then I'd draw a resistance line going across. I'd wait for this one to form and complete, then I'd wait for this one to form and complete before I would execute a 30-minute or a 15-minute reversal going in the opposite direction. Best time of day to be trading this, I wouldn't do this during news. I would not do this in the first hour or so of any session opening, simply because the market can surprise you with anything within that first hour or so. Okay, so let it go do its thing, let it go establish its high for the session. Say for instance, pound USD, say for instance that's the high. It may now come back down and try and establish a low for the session before it consolidates, before news kicks in, and then it's going to start to trend at some point. So I'd wait for all of that to form before I go in and start looking for these sorts of trades. So just before I turn this video off, I'm going to go back to this currency that I traded this on, or the trade that I actually did earlier. I want you to have a good look at this setup. Take a screenshot right now if you need to. Okay, so again, you're looking for a trending market, you're looking for the waves to develop, you're looking for effective pivots like this. If the pivots are higher than any other points that you've seen, and the pivots will just be the pullback, so you would consider this to be a pullback, I'd disregard this one because of all of this. Zoom out to see where the next highest points are, because all of these will come in handy. Zoom back in, look for a development like this. So candles went up, price action went up, this pulled back slightly, created a nice wick for you, markets pulling back, and then markets climbing up again. This is telling me markets slowing down, chances of reversal is certain. Draw a horizontal line in here, wait for price to, well, this would have broken past, and hopefully this would have almost completed as well. Where you notice this, draw in your line, wait for this to complete, execute a put for at least 30 minutes on a 15-minute chart. You decide how long you want to go in on an hourly chart. Okay, see, this is on a USD JPY hourly chart. Could I consider this a pivot? I'm not certain. It certainly is higher than these two candles here. Would I have taken this trade? Probably not. But you could say this was a pivot. This is not quite an inside bar, but certainly is coming down. USD CHF. Nope, I'm not really seeing anything. I'm gonna turn the video off on the 15-minute USD JPY chart, because again I want you to have a good look at this. Here's the line, draw in. This is the sort of behavior that you're looking for. Even if this was inside here, this wick down here somewhere, this is the sort of behavior you're looking for. Let the trend develop slightly and give you signs. Okay, you're looking for these sorts of signs. Demo, guys, demo this as much as you can on all time frames. For those of you on Nadex, jump onto that as well and see if you can spot these well and be able to execute contract purchases for a set distance. So on a 15-minute chart, so if you can do it for 30 minutes or an hour or so, and see if you can find the appropriate time that works for you, and whether you can sell those contracts early and make a decent profit, or if you're comfortable just sitting them out. Okay, I'm going to do more videos clarifying this later on, and possibly even doing some trades on it, but this looked too perfect for me, so I didn't want to pass up the chance of not showing you guys. Again, combine all of the strategies. Do look for this sort of setup on the 1-minute chart for your EMA 6 trades, and also look for this sort of pattern on your support and resistance trades. All right. Apologies, guys. All of my videos are impromptu, so I'm pretty much just showing you guys what's going on, and I'm saying whatever's coming to mind. So if it's confusing anyone, my apologies for that. Certainly ask me any questions you have in the comment section, and I'll try and provide more clarity in the coming videos. All right. Ciao.